Walking with My Delaware Grandfather by Denise Lowe. Walking home, I feel a presence following and realize he is always there. That native man with coal-black hair who is my grandfather. In my first memories, he is present, mostly wordless, resident in the house where I was born. My mother shows him the cleft in my chin identical to his. I am swaddled and blinking in the kitchen light. So we are introduced. We never part. Sometimes I forget he lodges in my house still, the bone house, where my heart beats. I carry his mother's framework, a sturdy structure. I learn his birthright. I hear his mother's teaching through what my mother said of her. She kept a pot of stew on the stove all day for anyone to eat. She never went to church but said you could be a good person anyway. She fed hobos during the 30s, her back porch a regular stopover. Every person has rights, no matter what color. Be respectful. This son of hers, my grandfather, still walks the streets with me. Some twist of blood and heat still spark across the time bridge here. Listen. Air draws through these lungs made from his. His blood still pulses through this hand. Reproductive Invariance by Denise Lowe. By the river years ago, recursive in memory, a finite moment, the past ended, future began. The river flowed south. You were a man's face floating among stones. By a river in autumn, willow leaves were yellow, whisks in updrafts. We were not alone. Cottonwood bowls twisted against banks, turtles dozed in the roots, bark slivered into water. The river sounded the swish of its name. You waited the Neosho as it meandered east. 2 sandhill cranes fly overhead. Their legs stretch straight behind as they swim through air. Their grace is the river's. No one saw flood-stained silt, gravel, broken muscle pearls. I stayed. You left. By the river I met you each day. I meet you each day. I will be meeting you in invariant futures. By the river leaves turn, mud cracks pentagonal shapes. You return and leave. The river remains. By the river I was a child. I am grown. I remember water pooled, not moving. Perhaps the World Ends Here by Joy Harjo. The world begins at a kitchen table. No matter what, we must eat to live. The gifts of earth are brought and prepared, set on the table. So it has been since creation, and it will go on. We chase chickens or dogs away from it. Babies teethe at the corners, they scrape their knees under it. It is here that children are given instructions on what it means to be human. We make men at it. We make women. At this table we gossip, recall enemies and the ghosts of lovers. Our dreams drink coffee with us as they put their arms around our children. They laugh with us at our poor falling down selves, and as we put ourselves back together once again at the table. This table has been a house in the rain, an umbrella in the sun. Wars have begun and ended at this table. It is a place to hide in the shadow of terror, a place to celebrate the terrible victory. We have given birth on this table and have prepared our parents for burial here. At this table we sing with joy, with sorrow. We pray of suffering and remorse. We give thanks. Perhaps the world will end at the kitchen table while we are laughing and crying, eating of the last sweet bite.